You know what nobody talks about? The real cost of being the person who just gets things done without making noise about it.
There's someone in your office right now who saved the entire project last month. A system crashed at 4 p.m. on a Friday. Everyone else panicked, sent frantic messages, scheduled emergency meetings for Monday. But this person stayed late, diagnosed the problem, implemented a fix, documented everything, and sent a simple email at 8 p.m. that said, "Issue resolved, root cause identified, prevention measures in place." By Monday morning, it was like nothing had happened. Meanwhile, another coworker had spent that same week loudly struggling with a relatively simple task, updating everyone hourly about how hard they were working, how many obstacles they were facing, how dedicated they were to finding solutions. They sent 5 emails for every actual action. They called impromptu meetings to discuss their process. They made sure everyone knew how much effort they were putting in. Guess who got recognized in the all-hands meeting? Guess who the manager praised for their passion and dedication? Not the person who actually solved the crisis, the person who performed the struggle. Because here's the thing about being quiet at work. Your competence becomes invisible, not because it doesn't exist, but because it doesn't make enough noise. You fix problems before they become disasters, which means nobody sees the disaster you prevented. You work efficiently, which means nobody sees you working. You communicate clearly and briefly, which means nobody hears your voice enough to remember it. And here's where it gets twisted. The better you are at your job, the more invisible you become. The drama creators get attention. The loud workers get recognition. The people who turn every minor task into a performance get promoted, while you, the one actually holding everything together, become part of the wallpaper. Maybe you've been that person. Maybe you are that person right now. And if you are, I need you to stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you isn't just frustrating. It's a pattern that shapes entire careers, and most people don't see it until it's too late. There's someone else in your workplace. They've been there for 5 years. Solid performer. Never misses deadlines. Quality work every time. Helps up to colleagues. Trains new hires. Takes on extra projects without complaint. Shows up early. Stays late when needed. Never asks for special treatment. Just quietly excellent at what they do. Their annual reviews are always positive. Their manager always says they're doing great. But when the senior position opened up last quarter, they didn't get it. Instead, it went to someone who'd been there for 2 years. Someone louder. Someone who always made sure to speak up in meetings, even when they didn't have much to say. Someone who copied executives on emails about routine tasks. Someone who volunteered for high visibility projects and delegated the actual work. Someone who talked about leadership before they'd actually led anything. And here's the painful part. That person isn't necessarily more capable, they're just more visible. They've learned that in most workplaces, perception matters more than performance, that being seen matters more than being good. The quiet person heard the news through the company announcement. No personal conversation, no explanation, just their louder colleague's face on the org chart where they'd hoped their own might be. And when they finally asked their manager why, the answer was something like, "We need someone who can really step up and show leadership. We need someone who's more visible with clients. We need someone who can really advocate for the team." All of which translated to, "You're too quiet. You don't perform your competence. You just have it. And that's not enough." Now here's what's insane about this pattern. The qualities that make you good at your actual job, focus, efficiency, thoughtfulness, problem solving without drama, those same qualities make you bad at the game of being recognized for your job. You're too busy actually working to perform working. You're too focused on solving problems to broadcast that you're solving them. You're too considerate to interrupt meetings with your voice. You're too professional to turn every task into a personal narrative. And the system punishes you for it. Psychologists call this the visibility bias.
It's the tendency for people to overvalue what they can see and undervalue what they can't. In the workplace, this means the person who sends 10 updates about a project gets more credit than the person who completes the project with one final email. The person who speaks confidently about half-formed ideas gets taken more seriously than the person who speaks carefully about fully formed solutions. The person who creates problems and then dramatically solves them gets more recognition than the person who prevents problems from happening in the first place. It's not about competence, it's about performance. And if you're quiet, you're performing invisibility.
But here's where most people get it completely wrong. They look at quiet workers and assume the problem is confidence. They think if you just spoke up more, believed in yourself more, promoted yourself more, everything would be fine. They send you to assertiveness training. They tell you to advocate for yourself. They suggest you need to be more of a leader. And listen, sometimes that's actually helpful advice. But here's what they're missing. For a lot of quiet people, the silence isn't a deficit. It's a choice. Not because you lack confidence, because you have standards. You don't speak in meetings just to be heard. You speak when you have something worth saying. You don't send updates to create the illusion of progress. You send them when there's actual progress to report. You don't turn every task into a performance because the task itself matters more than the applause. You're not failing at self-promotion. You're refusing to participate in a system that rewards noise over substance. And that refusal, whether you realize it or not, is actually a form of integrity. The problem is, integrity doesn't get promoted. Visibility does. So if you're the quiet one at work, the one who keeps getting passed over, the one who watches louder and less capable people climb past you, I need you to hear this. You are not broken. You are not defective. You don't lack leadership qualities just because you don't perform leadership theatrically. Your value isn't diminished because it's not loudly advertised. But you are facing a choice. You can keep operating with integrity in a system that doesn't reward it, which is noble but exhausting. Or you can learn to translate your competence into visibility without losing yourself in the performance. That's not selling out, that's survival. If this is resonating with you, if you're realizing something about yourself or someone you know, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Because content like this, the kind that actually explores workplace dynamics instead of just giving you generic productivity tips, gets buried under algorithms that prioritize noise over depth. Your subscription tells the algorithm that this matters, that honest conversations about being undervalued at work deserve to be seen. So subscribe. Help me keep making videos that understand you instead of trying to fix you. So the next time someone tells you to speak up more, to be more visible, to show more leadership, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, am I actually lacking these qualities, or am I just refusing to perform them on someone else's terms? Because there's a difference between growing and betraying yourself, between adapting and disappearing. The quiet ones at work aren't invisible because they're not enough. They're invisible because the system is too loud to notice depth. And once you understand that, once you see the game for what it is, you get to decide how you want to play it, on your terms, with your integrity intact. Because your silence was never weakness. It was just the sound of someone who knew their worth didn't need an announcement.